Recently, to counter Western powers, the South Korean government secretly initiated the Tyrant Project, developing a special virus implanted in humans to maximize human potential. Upon discovering the Tyrant Project, pro-American factions within the National Intelligence Service raided the project's facility, detaining the scientists, including the lead doctor. The last sample of the Tyrant Project was also seized by the intelligence agency. Upon hearing the news, Director Cho, who led the Tyrant Project, met with a woman late at night. She provided intelligence showing that a gang had purchased a specially made safe which contained the last sample of the project. However, she also claimed that her spies in the enemy camp had been discovered and killed, making this the last piece of intelligence she could provide. Director Cho promised to recover the sample and see the Tyrant Project through to the end. After their final handshake, he left hastily with the information. His opponents, lying in wait, immediately stormed in and killed the woman. To recover the sample, Director Choi ordered a secret operation team to find a girl, Ja-yoon. Known as a notorious assassin along with her father, she was the only one capable of opening the special safe after her father's recent murder. The team's leader brought Ja-yoon to his hangover soup restaurant, instructing her to intercept the safe being transported, offering a substantial reward. However, Ja-yoon, who has a dual personality including her brother's more ruthless persona, refused, even claiming she was her brother. Eventually convinced, Ja-yoon agreed to join. That night, she and a group of armed individuals ambushed the transport vehicle. After a brief gunfire exchange, the opponents were nearly annihilated. Ja-yoon then shot the leader of the foreign gang from hiding and recovered the safe. The team leader met with a senior official and handed over the safe. The official inquired about Ja-yoon's fate as the leader pointed to a television news report of a releasing dam. Ja-yoon, supposedly killed and thrown into the reservoir, survived as the bullet did not hit her vitals. She climbed out of the reservoir, cleaned the mud off her clothes, and retrieved the last sample of the Tyrant Project, which she had hidden on her person until she received the promised final payment. As night fell, Ja-yoon left the reservoir, encountered a stranger, and quietly picked up a branch. She used it to break the car window and injure the man.
너 누가 네 맘대로 뽑으래?
Before driving away in his car, using the car's phone, she contacted someone, unaware to the secret operation team that she was still alive and that the sample had been taken. The senior official ordered the team to stand by while reporting the recovery of the safe to Director Cho, who then ordered the immediate elimination of the operation team, leaving no survivors. The team leader, aware of the impending danger, planned to escape with his team. Meanwhile, Director Cho met with a professor, planning to take him to a safe hideout. When the National Intelligence Service learned of the safe's hijacking and that Director Cho led the operation, the senior officials of the intelligence agency demanded a meeting with him. Additionally, the US became aware of the Tyrant Project, seeking to prevent South Korea from developing a counter to American prototypes. Special Agent Paul planned to travel to South Korea. After escaping, Ja-yoon contacted a doctor at an underground clinic. The doctor treated Ja-yoon's wounds and obtained a sample of Tyrant hidden on her. He then called someone, planning to make a profit from Ja-yoon and the sample. Learning that Ja-yoon was alive, the chief ordered his men to reach the clinic before the rivals and eliminate Ja-yoon. Soon, noises came from outside the clinic. The doctor mistook the visitor for a friend, but suddenly an axe struck, killing him. The intruders, agents of a pro-American faction from the intelligence agency, searched the clinic for Ja-yoon, intending to kill her as well. By then, Ja-yoon had awakened and learned that her father was killed by these people. She attacked her opponents fiercely. And within minutes, the clinic was full of corpses. With all enemies eliminated, Ja-yoon washed off the blood and changed her clothes from the clinic's wardrobe. She took the Tyrant sample and casually drove away in a truck parked roadside. The chief's men arrived just a step late and found out the girl had escaped. The chief then ordered Ja-yoon to be included on Lim Sang's hit list. Lim Sang, a cold-blooded assassin previously with the intelligence agency, had just killed a couple days before. Recently, a man in the woods encountered a humanoid monster. As the monster attacked, sunlight burst through, causing the monster's body to explode into pus. The man survived but was bedridden with fear. Lim Sang, posing as a journalist, visited the man's home, claiming to interview him about the monster. The man's wife told Lim Sang that no one in the village believed in the monster. Lim Sang showed him a picture on his phone, and upon seeing it, the man was struck with fear, confirming he had seen the monster. To prevent the Tyrant Project's exposure, Lim Sang immediately killed the man and his wife. Now, Lim Sang has received orders to find and eliminate Ja-yoon. He kidnapped a man involved in gambling, forcing him to drive to a specific location. Meanwhile, the pro-American forces of the intelligence agency approached Director Cho, demanding the stolen Tyrant sample. They claimed the Tyrant Project was unauthorized and the research factory had been closed. They hoped for Director Cho's cooperation. While pretending to be confused, Director Cho accused the intelligence agency of treason, supported by Americans. The conversation ended poorly, with both sides parting unhappily. Unbeknownst to his opponents, Director Cho, who seems young, is actually very scheming. The previous day, he pretended to send a professor away, but drove him to a forest and shot him when no one was around, pushing the car and the professor off a cliff. After escaping the clinic, Ja-yoon went to a hangover soup restaurant to find the action team leader who planned to betray and kill her. The restaurant was empty. She took a kitchen knife and hid it on her person, planning to seek revenge on the team leader. Before that, Ja-yoon went to a warehouse to buy firearms. The Korean seller, knowing her capabilities, quickly sold her the guns. A Russian associate, unaware of her prowess, harassed her and was swiftly killed by Ja-yoon with the knife hidden in her sleeve. The remaining Korean begged for mercy, but Ja-yoon shot him in the thigh and interrogated him about the team leader's whereabouts. He soon confessed that the team leader was in Busan. Ja-yoon arrived in Busan that day. Also, there was Lim Sang. Besides Ja-yoon, the team leader was also on Lim Sang's hit list. Last night, Lim Sang found out the whereabouts of a team member by torturing a man. He is now repeating his tactics on the team member. The team member does not know the team leader's location. Seeing this, Lim Sang kills him. When leaving, Lim Sang passes by Ja-yoon. Both turn around unintentionally and see a girl. Lim Sang instinctively unzips his bag to pull out a gun, but Ja-yoon mistakes him for a salesman. Thinking he recognized the wrong person, Lim Sang leaves and later realizes he missed his target after checking his phone. Meanwhile, Ja-yoon goes to the team member's home and finds him dead. As she prepares to leave, Lim Sang steps forward but accidentally bumps into a thug. Just now, Ja-yoon had scolded the thug, who, annoyed, takes out his anger on Lim Sang, who looks like an ordinary middle-aged man. A group drags Lim Sang from the street. The thug picked the wrong person, as Lim Sang quickly defeats a group of youths. While both are searching for the team leader, a superior is cracking a safe's code, finding it reset, possibly tampered with. Elsewhere, U.S. Agent Paul confronts Director Cho at the National Intelligence Service, accusing him of the Tyrant Project, intending to confront and dismantle it. After finding Cho, Paul demands the last Tyrant sample. The director plays dumb, so Paul takes him, vowing to find the sample's whereabouts. The NIS staff is confused about why both countries are vying for the sample. They learn the Tyrant Project developed a virus that turns ordinary people into super soldiers, aimed at military competition with Western nations. Paul interrogates Director Cho. To keep secrets, the director had already killed all involved, including professors. However, Paul finds evidence of Cho's leadership in the Tyrant Project and demands the sample again. Cho asks why Korea can't develop military power like countries with nuclear weapons and missiles. Despite Paul's questioning, the patriotic director Cho remains silent about the sample's location. Paul then receives news that the team leader is at the NIS, claiming he will reveal everything about the Tyrant Project in exchange for removal from the hit list. Elsewhere, Ja-yoon questions the team leader's friend, presenting a knife and gun for him to choose a way to die. After hesitation, the man reveals the team leader instructed Ja-yoon on robbing the safe and subsequent actions as internal government affairs. Just then, a bullet from outside kills him. Carefully, Ja-yoon goes to the door and finds the shooter, Lim Sang, who had passed her earlier. The two are evenly matched. Mid-conversation, they engage, each wounded, ending in a draw. Then, Lim Sang receives a message about the team leader's location, suggesting a truce with Ja-yoon to jointly find the leader and complete their missions. The National Intelligence Service agents are driving the team leader away. Paul arrives first with the American team. They forcibly take the team leader. On the road, Lim Sang and Ja-yoon encounter Paul. Instantly, a gunfight erupts on the road. During the chaos, Lim Sang and Ja-yoon accidentally overturn their car. Taking advantage of the confusion, Paul leads his men to Director Cho's secret base. They kill the director's subordinates. At that moment, the intelligence agency's technicians crack the safe's code. Paul takes the safe from the agency's personnel. To his dismay, the tyrant's sample is not inside. Frustrated, Paul executes the director's men one by one to force the director to reveal the sample's location. When it's the team leader's turn, he, fearing for his life, suspects Ja-yoon took the sample. After waking up from the car accident, Ja-yoon is pinned down by a virus-infected assailant. Ja-yoon attempts to fight back, but the man seems immune to her attacks. Fortunately, Lim Sang arrives in time and kills the monster, saving Ja-yoon. Unfortunately, during the fight, the tyrant sample tube Ja-yoon hid breaks. The virus seeps into her bloodstream through a cut. They drive to the secret base. Ja-yoon quickly neutralizes her opponent. Another infected foreigner throws her against a wall. Unbeknownst to him, the virus inside Ja-yoon expands and mutates. She quickly recovers and dispatches the foreigner with a single blow. She picks up a handgun and ends the team leader's life. Lim Sang, blinded by rage, eliminates nearly all of the intelligence agency's personnel single-handedly. He then holds Paul at gunpoint. Simultaneously, Paul threatens Director Choi. Undaunted, the director signals Lim Sang. Lim Sang shoots Paul first, killing him. He then shoots at Ja-yoon, who appears unfazed due to the virus's protective and regenerative abilities in her body. As the virus adapts to Ja-yoon's body, the director orders the base lights turned on. The strong light causes Ja-yoon discomfort. Lim Sang shoots her, exploiting her vulnerability to bright light. Her blood quickly fades as the virus protects and heals her. Ja-yoon revives and approaches Lim Sang. After a brief confrontation, with no unusual sensations, it's clear the Tyrant virus has adapted to her body. Ja-yoon breaks the light bulb, plunging the area into darkness, becoming an immortal superhuman. As dawn approaches, Director Cho orders her to quickly leave to avoid sunlight. He reminds Ja-yoon that she is now state property. After she leaves, pro-American factions within the Intelligence Bureau demand the location of the Tyrant. Lim Sang attempts an ambush, but nearly gets overwhelmed. He falls into the river. Despite being outnumbered, Director Cho refuses to reveal the Tyrant's location, even at gunpoint. Realizing Director Cho would rather die than disclose the location, the assailants shoot him several times and hastily depart. Unbeknownst to them, Lim Sang survives in the water,